Hey, what's going on, everybody? Alex Wiki here again. As usual, thank you for dropping by. I'm gonna sound a little nasal, as you could probably tell. I've been sick for about a week or so. The entire family's actually been sick. Being sick is not necessarily something anybody ever wishes to be. It just kind of came very suddenly. My daughter was sick, and then all of a sudden, we are all sick. In fact, right now, what you see me is probably the best I've been in the entire week. But the other day, I was actually sitting there and thinking about all the different chess sets that I've acquired, and kind of going through my mind about all the different ones. And I remembered a chess set that I did a review of over a year ago from Chess Bazaar, the Old English chess set. And I thought to myself, among the larger wooden chess sets that I have, whatever happened to the Old English chess set, because I didn't see it on the shelves where I usually keep all my chess sets. And I thought to myself, well, when we moved into the house about a year ago, a lot of the things that we moved in, because we had to move in relatively quickly, we sort of just ended up dropping on in the garage, because the garage is connected to the house, and we brought everything in because we had to move out of the old place relatively quickly. And because there was so much stuff there, that basically it ended up being to where the garage served and still continues to serve more or less as a large storage space before we finally kind of go through everything, figure out, whether we should throw something away, or if not, what we need to do with it. And one of the things that I guess ended up being in the garage for the entire duration of a year was the Old English chess set. Um, and one of the things is, even though the house is connected to the garage actually does not receive air conditioning or heating from the rest of the house. So the temperatures that are in the garage are about the same temperatures that you would expect outside. So the fact that this chess set right here inside this box has sat in the garage the entire year would have been about as equivalent of me holding this chess set out in the shed in the back. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is, although time and time again we've seen that a lot of the chess manufacturers do expect you to keep your pieces in sort of a relatively narrow, comfortable temperature range, somewhere between like 60 to no higher than 77 with relatively good humidity. This chess set here served to show you that for the entire duration of the year, a chess set made out of wood was exposed to temperatures that were ranging somewhere between 20 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And the very first thing that basically came to my mind when I remembered this chess set, well, I thought to myself, surely a chess set that's been there for the entire duration of a year with various humidity levels too has incurred some kind of damage, some kind of cracks that I was expecting with, a relatively high degree of certainty. I was expecting to see cracks or something occur. And when I pulled this chess set out, in fact, this box here, the slide top box from House of Staunton, is the same one that I've shown you guys in the very, very first video on this channel that belonged originally to the Library Grandmaster chess set. But since then, because the Library Grandmaster chess set was smaller and could occupy a smaller amount of space, I ended up moving it to another storage box. Where this box is where I ended up storing the Old English chess set. By the way, this chess set, I bought it from the Imperfect section of Chess Bazaar, as far as I can remember, for about $80. $80 for a full-size 4.4 wooden chess set was actually a great deal, considering that the dark pieces were genuine ebony, which they are. It's like a really nice, heavy, great wood overall. Although the pieces themselves, as we've seen before, especially like the knights, are relatively crude and not very detailed, overall the chess set's still a very nice, practical, playable chess set. as you guys have seen in that video. But long story short, like I said, I was certain to see cracks or some kind of damage to have been occurred, and I looked through all the pieces, and I did not see any single crack or any single sign of any damage. No fungus damage, no moisture damage, no cracks, nothing like that. It's as if I just purchased this chess set and just received it today. Everything looked fine, no discoloration, nothing. Now, having said that, this chess set, like I said, was exposed to a wide range of temperature changes throughout the day. It would get hot in the during the day, especially during the summer. It would cool down in the evening, and then some days were colder than others. It would drop down quite a bit. During the winter, this chess set had repeatedly been exposed to rising and lowering of like frost and everything. So I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm happy and comforted by the fact that you could see from this sort of, as you can call it, an experiment, that really these chess pieces ended up doing fine within the entire year. So, having said that, one of the reasons why I believe the chess set did fine, okay, is because the temperature has occurred somewhat gradually. If the temperature during the winter and the winter might be really cold, temperatures are like in their low 20s Fahrenheit at night or in the morning, and then it goes up to say 40 or maybe even close to 50 degrees, it doesn't happen within like 10 minutes, it happens within hours. And considering the fact that these chess pieces were not sitting outside in the garage, they were sitting inside of this box, then what happens is the outside of the box keeps a certain temperature. Like let's say it's 20 degrees, so the box is cold, the pieces are cold. And then everything together starts very gradually to warm up. So it doesn't happen immediately. And what happens is inside of every wooden chess piece, on a microscopic scale, it's not a solid wood like you would expect, I don't know, solid concrete, but even solid concrete, if you look on a microscopic scales, there's pores, there's porosities, there's a network, basically like a sponge. And when the temperature changes occurs, the liquids that are still inside, or the moisture, or what have you, or just the space and the air, it will contract and expand ever so slightly depending on the temperature changes. Now, your knights are not going to like swell up or something if it gets too hot or too cold, but on a microscopic scale, those little tiny changes is very much so normal to expect out of wood. Okay, the same type of changes you'd expect out of your trees outside that are actually always outside and are fine, but the trees outside are alive and they are receiving constant motion of fluid throughout the inside. Therefore, those changes, even though they experience them a lot more harshly than these chess pieces, it's okay for them. And even though, with that being said, trees and stuff still will crack and break and stuff if it gets like really, really cold or really hot, as we all know. But that's basically my thought process, is that even though the temperatures had occurred to these chess set where it was quite a bit, it occurred gradually, and it did not cause the damage that we would expect if, let's say, otherwise I did the same type of experiment, but I said, every morning I wake up, I'm going to throw this chess set down in the freezer for 2 hours, and then after those 2 hours, I'm going to heat up my oven, and I'm going to throw them in the oven for 2 hours, and I'm going to do that every day for a year. Obviously, because then the temperature changes a lot less gradual, it's a lot more steep. You might expect that if you do it for a certain duration of time, you'd start to expect cracks and stuff to occur, just because, yes, that would probably end up tearing through that network a lot quicker and basically breaking down those cellular walls and stuff quicker. And because there is some elasticity to the inside of this material, but if the change is too quick, then potentially you could end up getting damaged chess pieces. But why I'm trying to tell you all this is because I know that a lot of you guys might end up thinking about getting an expensive chess set, and one of the concerning factors for you, as it was for me a lot of times, is well, I do end up spending $500, for example, for a chess set. And I want to keep that chess set for a very long time, maybe give it to my grandchildren. But I'm concerned if I spend that much money, what's the likelihood that maybe in 5 years from now I'm gonna get some cracks through the wood and everything? Well, nobody's there's no guarantees in life, period. But the fact that at least in the beginning, if you buy a chess set and you're thinking, man, what's the likelihood I buy a nice expensive chess set and I'm gonna start seeing cracks occur through it within the first year or so? Well, if cracks start to occur by themselves without you dropping the pieces or damaging them in any other way, with you just using the pieces in a very normal way, like, just playing games and picking them up and putting them down and picking them up and putting them in the storage box and, that kind of thing, to where you're not just throwing the pieces across the room, but you should be fine. I mean, obviously, if you bought a chess set and you said, I'm going to buy this expensive chess set and I'm going to keep it outside permanently and put it out there in my backyard where I'll fixate them, and whenever my friends will come, I'll just have it always in my backyard. Well, yeah, then you'll have rain, you'll have UV radiation, insects, I don't know, fungus, all that kind of stuff working together 24/7. And yes, I wouldn't expect your chess set to last for a long period of time, but in a normal sort of a storage capabilities, what have you, like if you store a chess set normally, I don't necessarily think you should be worried about like keeping a chess set at exactly 70 degrees Fahrenheit all the time at exactly the same humidity. And if you do end up getting a crack through a chess set, like within the first year, just in and by itself, then you look at the crack and you're like, that's probably a crack that has occurred when they initially made those chess pieces, because when they initially harvested the wood, processed the wood, dried it, then maybe during one of those steps, whether it's maybe drying it too quickly or whatnot, then that may have weakened that wood at that point. And although, when they make these chess pieces, of course, they're going to inspect them because they don't want to give you something that's going to break or something. But there's no way of knowing that maybe on the inside, this queen here is weakened and it's going to crack. So that's why you buy your chess sets from from a reputable chess dealer, or because, like, for example, Royal Chess Mall, when I did my recent video on it, and I talked to you guys about like the warranty card and everything, they give you at least a year on like the chess pieces and whatnot, and in some cases even more, which means that they really want you to feel comfortable with the fact that if you purchase a chess set, or that you're, and it does crack on you while you're using it normally, then you should feel comfortable that you can call them up or contact them through email or something and let them know, like, hey man, like, I bought this really nice chess set and my queen developed a crack through it like 5 months into me playing with the chess set. Then hopefully they'll be able to replace that for you. So, but under normal playing conditions, I don't see why you should end up having these type of issues, period. So anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just wanted to address some concerns that I've read, and just wanted to kind of let you guys know that, yeah, you should probably be okay with chess sets if you just, keep them, in a normal setting. You should probably be fine. I mean, obviously, if you buy your chess set and you pay like $500 for it, and you're going to say, hey, just for experiment, I'm going to keep it in my car for like 2 years and see how that goes. Those situations are probably not going to occur for the most people unless you just wanted to experiment with it. But Like in a normal situation, if you paid that much money for it, there's a likely chance that you're just gonna kind of take care of them and keep them somewhere safe. And under those situations, under those conditions, I don't think you should expect any type of a damage to your car in and of itself. Okay, so anyways, thanks for dropping by. Like I said, that's all I kind of wanted to touch base on today. And hopefully, if any of you guys are out there sick or getting over being sick like me, I wish you guys all well and stay safe, stay healthy. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye bye.